Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, we're starting a little bit late here. You have got Will here. We do have a pre-submitted question, but I don't see that. Oh, I do see. Okay, Manal is joining now. So can you get, let's see, we got to get the question. There we go. And all right, Manal, so is there a way to add permissions to the report where only certain users can see certain requests? Yes, so there is a respect permissions filter. So if you look, let me create a folder here. What's today? And let's create a report here. And if we make like I'm assuming these things you're talking about are probably cases or process folders. If we look at folder data source here, there is a filter here called respect permissions. And respect permissions allows you to specify what level of permissions that you want this person to have for the content of the report to show up. And so depending on the permissions that the user has to the folder, this can work to do what you're asking. Like you could build, but this does imply that like your process folders or your cases are getting deposited into different folders in different way, in like maybe possibly different folders depending on maybe the team. Is this more about like, is this about different teams only seeing their work, or is this maybe like managers seeing employees work? What's the level of filtering that you're trying to get here?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. So I did do the respect permissions, but like, how do you set up? So for example, I have two specific users that I just want them to see those requests. Like, how do I add their names or like their email addresses?
Like, so are they, you only want them to see what they've been assigned to work on or what they submitted?
So like, for example, on the dashboard, there's multiple requests submitted by our users, and these are two admins that they want to. So for example, there's 7 request types. There's annual, budget, monthly. They want all the requests appear on the dashboard besides monthly, annual to be only seen by these 2 admins.
Okay. So you could have all of the normal ones be in one folder, right? And these other type of special requests be in a different folder, and make sure that only those 2 users have permission to that other folder. That plus respect permissions should give you what you're after. Like, are all of your process folders living in the same parent folder, commingled?
Yes.
Yeah, so you need to be able to change like the parent folder on the setup process folder step or on the create new case step to deposit, depending on its type, go to one or many different parent folders. Does that make sense?
No, for example, I'm using on my report just my whole data structure of like my project. So I don't do that.
Say that again for me. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So what I was saying, for example, I have a report. It's a simple report, and I'm just getting the fields from the data.
But what's the data source of your report? What type is it? Like your the for your extension data type or your case data type?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, it's keep cutting though. Sorry about that. I think it's my network.
Yeah, I'm sorry if you were just saying something. I did not hear what you just said.
Oh yeah. So I was saying like I'm just getting the fields from the data structure, and
Hmm.
then that's pretty much it. I'm getting confused on like when you say about the process folder.
Like, what's the step you're using to create the, the folder that holds the stuff for your process? Are you using, is it a setup process folder step or a
Set a
create
process
case step?
folder. A set a
Right.
process folder.
So on that step, there's a parent folder. So if you look on here, you probably just have this set like statically, because that's pretty standard, right? On your parent folder, you're probably just picking a folder. You created like a folder called data, right? And you're having all of your cases go into that data folder. Of course, I'm assuming a lot here. And you lost. Okay, yeah, you are cutting in and out, for sure. And so here, um, uh, parent folder, you probably need to make this dynamic. So here you can specify, or you can say flow input, um, which should be now a, sorry, flow input. Save this and come back. Is it not updating my step properties for me? Yeah, there we go, parent folder ID. So with respect permissions, the permissions are based off of folders. And so if you have two types of processes, one of which you need to hide from certain users,
Mm-hmm.
if you make their parent folders different, so you might have, let's say, a data folder and then two subfolders, right? Normal and month end, or whatever the example you were using before was, right? Um, it is, you have your flow figure out which folder ID to go into, and then like you might pick folder A or folder B, and then the permissions on that folder, your users have different permissions on that folder, and so you can provide only permissions for these two users to that second or that new folder that you
Mm-hmm.
put these new process folders into. Then respect permissions should show a difference. Now you would need to probably use shoot, what's it called? Impersonation to confirm that. Just
Okay.
as you move in between your different user accounts, you could confirm that. But like right now, if all your stuff is in one folder and you're using
Mm-hmm.
respect permissions, it probably won't change anything. Like it probably wouldn't make a difference at all to how the report shows. It implies that the things you're reporting on are in different folders, and those folders have different permissions.
Gotcha. So for example, if in my main flow I change the process.
And just lost you again. Sorry, Manal, that audio cut out, so I didn't hear anything you just said.
Oh no, it's okay. I was just saying so I can just add the parent folder ID. I can change, so I have like two process folders because one is for saving data and one of
Hmm.
them is for submit, and I can just change it. It won't like change anything else. It will just give me a separate folder ID, parent folder ID.
Yeah, correct. It'll just be in one of many folders. It
Okay.
just changes where it shows up at in the portal. But that change allows you to have and you're gone, have custom permissions applied to the parent folder of different processes. And thereby you can control what the respect permissions should allow you to filter out some of those things from the default reports very, very easily.
Okay. Gotcha. That makes sense. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
What other questions do we have? Let me know if you all have any other questions. As always, you can ask in the chat, you can ask in Q&A, or you can just use the raise hand feature, and we can call on you, unmute you, and then you can ask your question. Bit of a small group today. So if you have any questions about anything, please let us know. All right, please let us know if you guys have any questions. is there a way to control flow at runtime to track memory usage before it overflows and give server 503 error? Not currently. There's no way for us to know. Right now, the workflow engine really doesn't have a concept of how much space it's taking up. Like there's no like this flow is, there's no, right now the engine doesn't know how much memory a given workflow engine execution is taking up. So no, right now, no, yeah, there's no way. Now server 503 just means timeout, right? Almost certainly. We don't throw 503s. Usually we only see 503s when there's a proxy or a load balancer in between the application server and the user. So there's no way to tell. Yeah, there's no way to tell ahead of time or to have a workflow engine abort itself because of, it's pulled too much data in. It's more of a kind of handle with best practices type thing. How is the onset event going? It's going great. That's just a small set of people here. So that's nice. Our November or September one had a lot more people than this one. So we'll see what our Q1 event might look like. Okay, I think it's basically down to just a few people, no questions. Usually we try to wait till 12:30, but I think we'll go ahead and call it, Caitlin.
Alrighty.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate the questions. And tomorrow we've got who? We've got well, it's not working. Morgan. Tomorrow we got Morgan from our solutions engineering team. So great. Thanks, everybody. Have a great afternoon. Great evening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good one.